On this episode of the Garlic Marketing Show, we're going to talk about one of the coolest ways I've seen to deliver videos to your perfect clients and get them to be wowed, to get them to pay attention and to look at the videos over and over again. It's video brochures. And we're going to talk about with Devin Herz. Devin, thanks for being on the show.
It's awesome to be here, man. Looking forward to this.
And we're going to talk today about how he helped one HVAC company increase 5x their close rate using these. He's going to talk about the most successful types of videos. We're going to talk about old school nightclub brochures, how to get real staying power in videos, why you need to be thinking about direct response in these videos, and how he's using multiple channels with video brochures to really get incredible response. And especially, they have one company a 300% increase in business throughout the pandemic. Don't forget, this is brought to you by videocasestory.com. One of the best, as we'll talk about, videos to put into your video brochures and everywhere are your client stories. Go to videocasestory.com to learn how to collect, craft, and deliver in 50 different ways your client stories. Let's get started. Tell us a little bit about your agency, and you work with a bunch of different people, but who do you work with and how did you get into this?
Yeah, so been in the marketing world for about 25 plus years, being from Florida and, the Tampa area back in the college days, mid 90s, started a promotion marketing business in Ybor City and grew that up. It was a lot of fun, brought in national concerts, through college nights, the whole nine, helped restaurants really market their business, blew that up. Got tired of being in the nightlife scene till 3 a.m, 4 days a week. So went a little bit more corporate. My background really was being creative, try to differentiate all these different nightclubs from one another to get people in the door. So creative marketing, flyering, the guerrilla marketing, going in dorm rooms, cars, you name it. We didn't have social media back then. So that evolved into a really direct mail, direct marketing business and creative agency. So today with Dynamic Marketing Consultants, we are a full service agency. We've worked with all different industries, keeps us fresh, keeps it fun, and also doesn't keep your stuff stale. We don't want you to look like every other company that is in the same industry as you. So we always try to differentiate you there, online and offline. And this offshoot of our business, we've just had great luck with these video brochures, and that business is called Print-A-Vision, Print, the letter A, Vizion, and we'll share some insight on that today.
And before we get into that,
yeah,
I was around in Orlando in the club scene back in those days, and I'll tell you, I had friends that were DJs, and we always critiqued all those the cards and brochures for all the nightclubs. We collected the best ones. What was your favorite one that you ever made?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was flattering. I'd go into someone's dorm room and I'd see my artwork on their wall that they collected, because we definitely would push the envelope. I mean, we had an event that we called the College Crawl. So, it's so appropriate. The guy was laid out with a drink in his hand and kind of wasted, if you'd say, and had a die cut. No one was doing die cuts. We did this whole die cut. So that'd probably be one of the more fun ones. Just anything that was unique when it came to those flyers, but that was a good one.
That's awesome. That's so cool. That brings back, because we collected like the best ones, and I was like, oh yeah, especially when a big event came and like Sasha Digweed or something like that, and you're like,
yeah.
Oh yeah,
the techno world, that's a whole nother issue.
Firestone and all that stuff. That's
good
a whole
times,
other episode.
Good times. Yeah, we're dating ourselves, but we had fun.
Definitely had fun. So tell me the successes that you've had with these video brochures, because before we get into how it works, what has it been able to do for your clients?
Well, it completely eliminates the fact that someone needs to take action of doing something. So the video brochures, essentially, we were able to embed LED screens into printed materials. So the days of going to a URL, a personalized URL, Pearl, which we still do, QR codes, someone actually has to do something. With these, which we'll share with you in a few moments, you just open the cover and it plays right in their hands. So compelling video, testimonials, case studies, the benefits of working with you can all be right there. As long as someone knows how to open up something, boom, that video plays. So just integrating those types of marketing messages and video with the print and tangible pieces versus digital, that's really helped overall the success of the pieces.
My mind's just racing 1,000 miles an hour because I'm like, video getting delivered in that way, especially if it's, and we'll talk about the types of videos that you're putting in there. Sure. I can just imagine though, you don't see those ever. So when you get one, you're showing everyone, aren't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the wow factor, the jaw dropping. I mean, it is there. And it's just 10 years ago, I get the same reactions I do today. So it's just incredible. Even, marketers that have been in the industry, they may have seen one or two here or there. So they're not widely used, which is great for us because we're selling a lot of them. And a lot of different industries are now catching on that this is something, especially with what happened over the last few years with not meeting in person, this is something that gives them the ability to put a unique piece into someone else's hands, whether that's part of a sales process, a direct mail initiative, prospecting, or even onboarding. So it's got a lot of uses for it.
Oh man, I'm just thinking of because all the places that you should be using video, like you said, prospecting, onboarding, everything, you can deliver it in a new way. And so, do you have a specific example of how you've used this and gotten success?
Yeah, first off for myself, when we're marketing for our clients, one of the things I like to do is be the guinea pig for my own business. So being the fact that we have a marketing agency and we have some of these offshoots with being able to do printing and other different types of packages that we offer, we always like to test and measure and see what works for us. So really got started using it for myself about 10 years ago to go after high-level prospects, knowing that if I spend 50, maybe back then probably closer to $100 a book, and I go after 10 clients, 100 clients, whatever it may be, do the math, I know that if I land one out of those 10, it's well worth the investment for the types of business that we do. So I think what I'll do, if you don't mind, I'll show this. This is one that we did for an HVAC company, and it's all different industries, but you open it up.
Did you know
this
that
has
the air we breathe in our homes
typical animation explainer video.
EPA studies have shown that indoor air can be up to 5 times more polluted than the air outside.
Also has a pocket here, so you can easily pause it, and you got volume control. This has a pocket for them to put other collateral materials. So through this instance, animated explainer video, those work. We do like a lot of bringing in the personal touch as well. So each one of these has a little USB port there. You can load your own video. So when it comes to personalization, hi, Ian, this is Devin Herz. Thanks for taking the time to look at my video brochure. Press number 2 to hear raving fans talk about our marketing agency. Press video 3 to see our solutions. Press 4 to see how our solutions can work for you. So giving that client journey. So for this instance with the HVAC company, the close rates that they were receiving were about 10%. From using this tool, because they had technicians that are not necessarily the best salespeople, they were able to up their close rates to 50%, which was huge for this particular company. Yeah,
that's amazing.
That's one aspect of arming your salespeople, your techs, things like that, to help them with their sales process while they're servicing an HVAC unit. Drop this into the homeowner's hands. Say, watch this about our air quality control. Next thing you know, you got an upsell worth $5,000, $10,000.
That is amazing. And how long did that take for that whole process? Tell me about the process of determining what your videos you're going to put in for the HVAC company to deploying it.
Sure. So, they can go a couple different ways. We have clients that come to us that already handle all their design, their marketing, their video creation, and we're simply developing the actual production for them. We'll do the print, load their videos on, deliver it to them, or actually do mail fulfillment if we have a direct mail initiative that we have a targeted list. We handle all those logistics as well if needed. Then on the other side, we're here to help as much as possible if needed. So that's from the strategy end of things, how it's going to be used. People see them and they're like, love it. How the heck am I going to use that for me? So by able to work with them on the strategy, coming up with a creative design, we got an awesome award-winning design team in-house. And then also with the video, how is this video going to be conveyed? Who's your avatar? Who are we speaking to? What is the goal out of this video that we're trying to get? Is it to drive them to a URL, pick up the phone, whatever that is, to work with them so they have a smooth, streamlined process of getting it from start to finish without them having to stress over it too much.
And what have you found are the most successful types of videos that you're putting into these?
I'm a firm believer of letting your clients sell for you as much as possible. I would say that people love to brag. I mean, we all fall into that category of how great we are and all this. You definitely want to explain the benefits that they're going to receive from working with you. Really try to differentiate yourself. I've said that a lot already, but that's the key, is show up differently, be dynamic, be unique. Don't talk about how great you are. Talk about how you're going to help them. And then use case studies from people to just be that proof of concept that you're actually helping clients succeed what you're trying to do.
Yeah. And I did not prep him. I did not tell Devin he should say that. And you heard it. Video case studies, video case stories. Yeah. Awesome for this. And I heard you talk about some other ones, the process, like how it works. What are some other types of things that you're putting in there? Because I love that. I didn't even know that you could do multiple videos in there and for them to be able to select it.
Yeah, you can go with, we got short attention spans this day and age, but there is a time and place where people will pay attention. So everyone's talking about the client journey, right? So being able to have them actually interact with the piece. So, I mean, again, a proof of showing versus me telling, or I'll show and tell. So this one right here.
Mother Nature is continually purifying the air we breathe.
Click that, but you can see we have video chapter buttons. So you can label these, like this one says about, the solutions, the reviews. So boom, I can go right to see reviews.
Third-party testing have proven why our systems are so effective and sought after in hospitals, museums, casinos.
So, and then taking time to personalize it, as I mentioned, is huge. Showing off events that they may be at. I mean, we've seen it even used internal to train some of their team members as well, using it as a training tool. So it's really been a wide gamut, things from universities to healthcare providers to realtors, using it as a pre-listing type of marketing piece to show how they're going to be different than the other realtor that's talking to them, things like that.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Especially I'm gonna send this off to the realtors I know, because it's so powerful. They have these powerful videos. Get them right in someone's hands, and I can imagine that people don't throw these things away, do they?
The staying power has been awesome, and something like this, once it's fully charged, if it's not played continually, it can last months sitting on their desk or on their on their counter, showing it to family members. Look at what the heck I got today in the mail. I mean, I've never seen anything like this, and showing that around to neighbors, friends, family. So we have heard many instances where it just has snowballed to where prospects that they weren't even going after have contacted them just because people have shown it off. And then, of course, it works well for us too, because our clients are sending these out and people are getting them in the mail and like, what is this? I've never seen it before. Then they go look online and they hopefully find us. So it's been great to just see that type of reaction. And then also the reorders, that's where it's gratifying to me, because it's working. People are reordering. I mean, this client's on over 1,000 pieces already. The other one I showed you is close to 1,000 pieces already that they've reordered. So just knowing that is happening, they're getting the results that they really need, and it's instantly helping out with their return on investment.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, the return, especially the long staying power of it, right? Because if that gets sent out, maybe that person doesn't call you today, but it's sitting on their desk in a B2B environment, sitting on their desk. They might even leave that company and keep that thing and always remind you.
I've heard of that too, where people have, hey, my last company, I got this, and now I'm at a new company, I want to implement it for them. So, it definitely is cool to see that as well.
And so let's talk a little bit about logistics of it. But before we do that, I want to talk about cost and all that stuff. You come from a direct response background, as and you've been in. We were talking a little bit about before the show, and we have plenty of videos on what direct response is. But how important do you think having a direct response mindset and doing this is to your results?
I think it's huge. And the thing is, we're never selling dreams. You got to be methodical about the direct response process. If you think you're just going to send out a video book or any kind of mailer and be done, that's not where it's going to stop. So, I mean, you know this, I'm sure a lot of your audience know this, that continual touch points, sending something like that out, following up, picking up that thing that's called a phone. It's not a camera, it's a phone, and making some phone calls to what we do, called tail the mail. So when you send that out, you're immediately getting on the radar. So next, get on that phone and say, I'm the one that sent you that video brochure. Typically the response is, I know who you are, I'm not interested, or I know who you are, that was amazing, my coworkers love it, we wanted to talk to you. So it just ends up getting that conversation started, which sometimes is very hard to do this day and age online. We're just hit with tons of emails, and costs of social media and things like that are going up. So that tangible piece as part of your direct marketing and direct response plan is key. Having some tangible with the online, hitting them up on LinkedIn afterwards, hitting them up on Facebook, whatever it may be, to have that multi-prong approach.
Yeah. And I mean, and the targeting, right? That's another thing I love about this too, that we really didn't talk about, but you can't get better targeting than this, can you?
Yeah, understanding your audience, figuring out who your target market is, working with a roofing company right now, again, competitive industry. So to go play Google ads, people are like, oh, these are, $30, $50, oh my God. But yet they're spending thousands of dollars on Google pay-per-click, $30 a click, $50 a click, have no clue who the heck is clicking on it. This is a way to get something like that to people. I know you mentioned cost. You're going to range on like a 5-inch screen video brochure. I'm just looking at my notes here, under $40 per piece. So again, not crazy. It sounds like a lot because it's a lot more than a postcard, but if you're buying lunch for someone, or you're doing the pay-per-click or social media advertising, it really is not a lot of money in the scheme of things.
No, especially if you have a 1,000, 2,000 to, like you're saying, roof 40,000 average customer value.
Absolutely.
You can send 100 and get one client, and you still have a 10-to-1 return.
That's it. You got
and
it.
I bet you, like you said, you increase your close rate by 5x. That's just, we do the math.
It's insane. Yeah, I was looking at another one here too that I had on my notes. This is, again, not fully my responsibility or because of what we did, but because this video book right here was part of their sales process. With the clean air and COVID and all that, this spiked. Air quality control just spiked. Mm-hmm. But they were growing 40% a year. And when they implemented this, plus with COVID, they had a 300% jump in business using this for their sales techs to, upsell people.
What? 300%?
Yeah. These are not numbers I made up. These are straight from the client. And again, the reordering, because their techs are just wanting it. It makes it much easier part of their sales process.
Love it. So, on average, how long does it take to, get something like this out if you've got the video content?
Yeah, if we're doing design, typical design is going to take about 5 to 7 business days to get a proof. Give it a couple weeks just with proofing back and forth. Once we have the green light on the proof and we're ready to move forward with production, you're about a 30-day turnaround time. Everything is hand assembled. The last thing we want for any of our clients to experience is them using this and being like, I sent it out to someone and it's dead. So through the years, first couple years, it was hell. The technology stunk. The prices were way up. Nothing was consistent. I would say over the last 8 years, we perfected this to where our quality control is top notch. The printing is amazing. The components we use are as the high end as we can. The cost has been continuing to come down, except for the last couple of years with the COVID issue and supplies, but we still are able to price it pretty reasonable. And really the fact that people can work directly with myself and my team versus someone that's just a product pusher or someone that's trying to sell something like this, we're able to educate and get them to get the best out of this. They're spending the money, they're investing in it. So however we can help them really get the best out of it is what we're all about.
Nice. And do you guys help develop the list as well?
We do work with a list provider back in my direct mail days, and I shouldn't say back because we still do thousands of pieces of direct mail every single month for some of our clients. Jen, my wife, handles a lot of that aspect of our business, but we do work with a list provider. So, a business owner has so many things to worry about: their clients, their team, how they're going to be bringing in money. We try to eliminate that with our agency as much as we can. So we have all the connections. If it's something that we can't do in-house, we're going to put you in contact with the right person. So if we're able to save you time, that's, again, what we're trying to do is save the business owner, save marketing directors time and energy, so we can facilitate things from start to finish, from the strategy, creative to the implementation.
Love it. Love it. And obviously, you're doing it for that long and it works. I think it's, if you're any type of service business with a high average cost and you know who your audience is, or average value, this is a no-brainer. It seems to me.
Absolutely.
I'm having trouble paying attention because I'm thinking of all the ways I want to use this.
That's usually when I see people's heads spinning. So I'm like, just calm down. We'll get you locked in. So yeah, it's pretty wild.
Awesome, yeah. Devin. And so, is there one single thing that's really working for you now that's maybe it's changed over the past few years? I saw, the audience and the 300% increase, but is there one technique that you've found in direct mail that's a little bit different, that's working really well?
So we're a big proponent of direct mail in itself. So I would say when it comes to all the different types of campaigns, what we shared today is working the best. Pair that up with additional lumpy mailers, 3-dimensional mailers, doing the little things that people aren't thinking about of, hey, I can buy this prospect some breakfast. I can send a couple dozen donuts out to them. That doesn't even involve me. It's just thinking, hey, let me do something that is going to be tangible, get their company knowing who we are, give us the chance to have that opportunity and have that conversation. So, be creative. Just think differently than what everyone else is doing. You don't have to get so entrenched and you see all the feeds of you got to market online, you got to do all this ad spend, pay Facebook, pay Instagram. They're the ones making tons of money. So why not do things that are more targeted? You don't have to go out and pick thousands of people to go after. Again, depends on your business, but usually people can target audience of 100 really good prospects and put most of your efforts towards that if you're trying to get leads, because I will tell you that when you have more of a focus like that, the response rates are much higher. The paying attention to those individuals versus thousands of people is much easier to control, easier to follow up, easier for the salespeople to continue to touch them and reach out to them.
Yeah, and I can only imagine too, because I've had a few really good direct response mailers come to me. But if I would have had something like this, because I know they spent like $50 to $100 on the piece. Yeah. But if I had something like this, I think it would have been a game changer. I would have definitely called them. That's phenomenal. Great advice. Well, Devin, what's the best way to get in touch with you and to follow you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you can just type in my name, Devin, Devin, last name Herz, Herz. I'm on Facebook. I would say my personal page, I kind of parlay my lifestyle and business into that. The company is Dynamic Marketing Consultants. So dynamicmarketingconsultants.com is our main company, and then printavision.com, PRINT, the letter A, VIZION.com is the website for the video brochures. My main email address is Devin, Devin, at yourdmc.com.
Nice. We'll put all that in the show notes.
Okay.
We might not put your email address in the show notes so you don't get you get a bunch of spam.
Yeah.
But
I got enough of that already.
But this has been fantastic.
Yeah,
thank you so much for being on the Garlic Marketing Show and sharing this, Devin.
It's great. I love what you do, and keep bringing the great content. Got to have you on our show here one of these days too. So I really appreciate it, and best of luck to everyone out there.
Thank you. And maybe we can do a boat show next time.
Absolutely. Hey, real business success. I already own the domain name, so I just need to get my camera guy down from Virginia, and we'd be good to go. So we can have some fun out there.
I know some camera people in my office.
So, the boat's ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Awesome.
Right.
Well, thanks for being on, Devin, and thank you all for taking Devin and I on your journey. This has been Iron Garlic and the Garlic Marketing Show.